Hello everyone, it is Sunday, December 16th, 2018. Of course, I stated I would do a new video yesterday, but when I got home from work and I was just kind of sitting down relaxing because I had a very long week, I didn't have an opportunity to do it, and so I thought I would do one tonight. So this video is basically answering a couple of questions I've been getting from viewers and then showing some of my favorite covers now. Some of you are going to notice some of these covers that I've shown in prior videos because when someone asks me what my favorite covers are, it kind of reverts back to the same type of books, either the artist or the theme. And so, you know, I apologize in advance if I've shown some of these books already. So we'll jump right in with some of the questions. First question was from Sean Hogan. He asked me what the artwork in the behind me is. That is from an artist out of Arizona that I've been following and buying from for a few years now. His name is Shelby Robertson. What these are these are prints that he sells, and then I was able to buy the original artwork for that print. I was very happy to be able to do that. And then this here is a Wolverine pitch. You probably see the top of my finger, done by Joe Rubenstein at a show here a few years ago. He was very gracious to do a very nice print for me, or a very nice original piece of art for me, because the show was really bad and he was just looking for something to do. And then this here is not a Shelby Robertson. This here is a Zombie vs. Cheerleaders cover, and with the original cover artwork that I was able to buy from the artist. And so I really enjoyed that there. I can't remember the artist's name off the top of my head, and it's sad because he's a real good artist. My head's kind of spinning around right now. So that's what those are. Again, Shelby Robertson out of Arizona. He has a company called American Discord you can find online if you're interested in buying any of his artwork or his prints. He does a really good job, and he is a super, super nice guy. Second question, Yoshi Tana, hope I pronounced that correctly, asked me about micro chamber paper, my opinion on it. I really don't have an opinion on micro chamber paper. I have been collecting since the mid-70s, and none of my books that are raw have any micro chamber paper in it, and I have never had an issue by not using micro chamber paper. Now, a lot of people feel that they want to use the micro chamber paper to protect their books, and that's okay. You can do that. I just never found the reason to do that. If you keep your books, the bags and boards changed out periodically. With the Mylar, it's a little bit longer, but you change the boards out and you keep the books in a good, temperature controlled area or a consistent temperature controlled area, you really don't have issues with books degrading on you or getting a lot of the acid that comes out in the older books. But if you feel the need to get some micro chamber paper, I'm sure you can find it online. Again, personally, I don't use it. I don't feel there is a need to use it. So there's that. And then he had a second question regarding conventions, stating that even though I come from Nevada, what conventions out of state am I interested in going to? Now, I come originally from San Diego, so I've been to a lot of the conventions throughout Southern California. And there's not a whole lot that comes out in Southern California that I haven't been to. One of the big shows I want to go to, though, and I'm going to try to get there in the next couple of years, is the Emerald City Con up in Seattle. I hear great things about that. I watch videos about it. I speak to a lot of friends who go to that convention. They say it's fantastic, and it's not that far to go for me. I can just jump on a quick flight and go to Seattle. So that is on my wish list. Number one is the Emerald City Con. So thank you for the questions. I hope that you're satisfied with the answers. And then finally, Marcus3 asked me if I place all my books in Mylar because they look real nice when I'm showing them on the videos. I do not place all my books in Mylar. Modern books, I just place in basic BCW Modern Current 2 milliliter polypropylene bags. This is what I use right here. The difference is I use 3 boards and I change the bags out periodically to make them look fresh. Mylar, the only thing I put in Mylar are older books, or very expensive books that I'm going to put away and protect a little extra. So thank you for the question on that. So first set of books, I'm going to show, like I said, I'm going to show some of my favorite covers. And again, I'm going to probably revert back to some covers that I've shown in the past, so I apologize for that in the future. But I'm going to touch bases on a couple of series that don't get a lot of attention that I think are good. Of course, you know my genre that I enjoy, which is, the horror genre, especially as it comes to books. And so these are 2 storylines that I don't see a lot of people talking about. First one I was able to pick up from my friend Joe over at Fire Force Comics. He had this and I picked it up. This is the Ripley's Believe It or Not True Believers, Ripley's Believe It or Not True Ghost Stories. This is number 1, issue number 1. These are not expensive books. These are nothing fancy. These aren't high grade. This is like a 6, a fine 6.0. But really cool cover right there with the witch. I like that. And again, I thought the stories were pretty good on this one here. A lot of people don't collect them. I don't know why, but they're really nice. So there's that Ripley's Believe It or Not True Ghost Stories, #1. I was happy to get that, so thank you, Joe. And then another storyline that I really like that, again, people really don't take a lot of time to look at, and that is the Ghostly Tales. It's from Charlton Comics. Now, again, we talked about Charlton in the past, and, you know, their paper was really bad. So if you can find these in mid-high grade, you know, 6 to 7, jump on them because they are inexpensive, but they're really cool. The first one I'm going to show is number 58. This is a fine, very fine. Just like these, the feel of these books, just really simple artwork, but just really cool for what I'm looking for. And this is one of my favorite covers they did, number 61. I just kind of like this cover. It's got like a jungle feel, got a little devil up there. Again, strictly, even though these came out in the 70s, I think this was 1967. This has a real 50s feel for me, mid-50s movies, you know, the jungle movies and things like that. So there's that one there. And then number 63, Ghostly Tales. Again, this is more of a war-themed book, but I love the war, and I just always liked this cover for some reason. I don't know what it is that draw it to me, but it kind of reminds me of like a Twilight Zone type feel. And the storyline was pretty much the same way. So there's that right there. And that was just kind of, you know, a couple storylines that don't get a lot of attention, and I like them. So if you're interested in that stuff, Ghostly Tales is a really good storyline. Now we're going to come to some of my favorite covers. And again, I've probably shown a lot of these, but, you know, my favorite covers are my favorite covers. So people ask for them, so here they are again. One of my favorite covers, of course, House of Secrets, giant size 52, page number 96. And of course, this is the great Bernie Wrightson. I've always loved that cover with the ghouls kind of coming out of the picture on the little boy. Again, sorry for the glare, but that's really cool. Of course, a classic Jack Kirby. This is Superman's pal, the new Jimmy Olsen. This is number 142, and this is a very high grade. This is, you know, I have it very fine near mint. Of course, Jack Kirby. Again, apologize for the glare. Batman being one of my favorites. Sergeant Rock being one of my favorites. This, of course, would be enough for me to buy it. But then if you throw in the iconic Neal Adams, you have a slam dunk for a cover right there. Love that cover. Excuse me while I put these back in the holders. I'm sure someone's going to ask this question. If I have books that are higher grade or expensive books, I am always going to put them in a hard holder as well. This is a Golden Age top loader, and it fits perfectly with Silver Age Mylar books. As you can see, plenty of space to slide that in there, and it just store them in the box. It just gives you a little bit of extra protection to keep that spine looking good. This is, when I saw this, as a kid, I was like, I gotta get that book. This is Dead of Night #1. This is, again, another very fine near mint. Take it out of the holder for you. And there's that book right there. Again, it's got everything that I like. There's a Damsel in Distress, Monster Grabbing Her. Again, Dead of Night #1. Really cool storyline. And pretty reasonably priced books on that. So if you like that, pick those up. This stuff gets harder and harder to find as the days go on. This book needs no introduction. Again, this is a classic Neal Adams. Everybody looks at this book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is Green Arrow, Green Lantern, number 85. Of course, the famous heroine cover. This is from 71, I believe, 1971. Just a great, great cover. And if you're a collector and you collect vintage, this is a must for any collection, because some covers you just look at and you say, that, you know, everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what this is. This has been on the cover of t-shirts. This has been on posters. Just a great cover. Put that back. Talking Bernie Wrightson again. Of course, there's a pattern. I've always said that Bernie Wrightson is and will always be one of my favorite artists. And this has two of the things I like in it. A Bernie Wrightson and, of course, Batman. Gotta love that. This is Swamp Thing #7. Now, all these books I'm showing, I show for a reason, because I don't care how many covers of these I have or how many copies I have of these books. I am always going to buy them when I find them in the condition that I am looking for. What would a collection be without a couple of EC books? Here's one right here, Crime Suspense Stories 25. This is Pre-Code from 1954. This is just a really, really good book, and you know what's going to happen to that young lady right there by the mean guy with the knife. Again, a lot of these Pre-Code from EC are very well sought after because the covers for the time were wicked. Decapitation covers and everything else. So whenever I can find these, and again, you're going to find these, and these are going to be in, you know, VG, you know, and less sometimes. If you find them any higher than that, or 4.5, you're very lucky and you're going to pay a very high premium for it. I've always enjoyed Ghost Rider. This is Ghost Rider number 2. This is a very high grade, very fine near mint right there. Just always like Ghost Rider on the motorcycle, fighting the demon right there. Again, really, really cool Ghost Rider from 1974. Gil Kane cover. You can't go wrong with Gil Kane. What's going on here? A couple books left. Human Torch. This is Human Torch number 1. This is Romita cover from 1974. This again is a near mint, super high copy right here. I've always liked the Human Torch. When I was a kid, I thought it would be cool to be able to throw fireballs. And when I saw this, and I've always looked for a high grade copy, I have a couple of these in my collection already. And so this is a real nice one right here, Human Torch. Of course, a Romita cover. You cannot go wrong with a Romita cover. Golden age of books, as far as I'm concerned, were the 70s. Those were when some of the greatest covers came out, and I'm always going to believe that. Again, another book right here. We'll just jump right into it. Pre-Code 1954. Spellbound. That's 50s right there. That's the big monster, probably a nuclear monster, because a lot of that was popular with the spiders and the bugs. So there's that right there. And finally, the last cover I'm going to show is A Sinister House of Secret Love, number 3. This is what they call the gray tone cover. And again, this is another group of books that are real hard to find in good condition. A lot of these were beat up. A lot of these people didn't buy because they figured they were for girls, because it was more of a soap opera look on the cover of that book right there. So those are the books I showed tonight. Again, sorry if I showed, you know, the same books over and over again. I am going to do some more videos showing my favorite covers, and then I'm going to do another movie video because people have been asking for that. So that's pretty much all I have right now. So I hope you liked the video. Sorry if I kind of stumbled over my words a little bit. It's kind of late right here, but that's what it is. So I hope you liked the video, but if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great night. And again, I'll see you next week.